Look, with all the debate about the wall, here's a few ideas. Try ground sensors, the kind that they have around Yellowstone supervolcano. Try ground-penetrating radar stations. Try motion detectors, seismic meters. You can find out anything along that wall and along that border if you do those things. Because, I mean, upgrade the presence there with border security. Install ground meters that can detect tunnels. Also install seismic meters. This can detect vibration as minute as 1. If you put these things in there, then maybe you'll stand a chance at stopping the murder, the drug flow, the killing, the death, the abductions, and the kidnappings. Because you'll know they're coming across the border before they do. A wall is not always the answer. A wall is a 5th century solution to a 21st century problem. It don't work. Ask China how many times the Great Wall was breached. For that matter, look at every major city in Europe that's over 2,000 years old. And that's about half the major cities in Europe. Use your heads, people. The only crisis in this country is not at the border. How about the people that the government is starving due to shutdown? How many people are being made homeless, starving because they can't afford the food that it takes to feed their families? Because the government's not paying their paychecks, which is under civil law. It is also under the Labor Board guidelines. The government is violating its own laws. Think about it, people. When the government violates its own laws, then that government has a problem. And the people have a problem with the government. Open your eyes, use the head that God gave you, and see what the real problem is. People who can't get it through their thick heads that other people that they're causing suffering. Or was it not the president's daughter that said, "I got mine, suck it up"? Suck this up, little girl. You don't know what hunger is. You don't know what being homeless is. We do. When you've done a turn or two and missed a few days' meal, then you'll understand. Until then, there is no way you can relate to any of it. A government that does not support its people and do for its people what they can't do for themselves is an illegal, immoral, and unethical government, and should not be allowed to continue. They say a civil war is coming. Yes, it is, but it's not going to be the way they think. It's going to be people like you and me standing up, getting tired of the government running us over like a steam engine. Or need I remind you, whole peoples in this country were rendered that way about 150 years ago? Or do you remember the westward expansion? There's a word for it, ladies and gentlemen. It's called genocide. They genocided the Indian people. The Native Americans of this land, they committed genocide on. Where do you think Hitler got his ideas? Here. The Holocaust was born here. In this country. That's fact. Understand that, people. Believe it. If there's a civil war, this is my promise. I'll fight for the people. I'll fight for the land. But I will not fight for this government.